Not at all. Tema Central is Community 1 is in Tema East.
Okay.
Tema Central comprises of Community 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Some parts of the heavy industrial area and the light industrial area. Motorway extension as well. So, yeah.
If you are given the mandate to lead your people, what do you intend to do for them in terms of sport?
Well, I'd like to follow in the vision and direction of my party and the government. Number one, providing infrastructure. Currently, uh, we expect that there would be more infrastructure put into, sports facilities, especially that for the lesser, patronized sports like basketball, handball, even baseball and all of this. Very recently, there's been beach soccer, which is doing a lot for Ghana. So I'd like to explore that from my constituency. Basketball is receiving some attention. Would like to look at all of this, but most interestingly, the MMDAs, that's the Municipal and Metropolitan Assemblies, being mandated to develop centers of excellence for the sports, and especially the lesser known sports. There's also a lot of attention on improving the infrastructure and facilities for football. And so these are things that I'd like to lend my support to and lend my voice to like to lobby for, to push for, to make sure that we get them in a very timely fashion. And just to keep the authorities, who are mandated to make sure that these things, actually are possible on their toes and make sure that they're delivering. But beyond that, also, is also sports education and social education, and also how do you put it? Sorry, you guys are distracting me. Sorry. Would you cut that? Okay. What is most important for me also is education, not only sports education, but also general education for sportsmen and people with great sports and creative talent. And this is being addressed in a quota system that is a policy that is going to be introduced to make sure that there's a certain quota allocated to sportsmen or sports talents and creative talent in the secondary schools and in the universities. So I'm looking forward to that, because there has to be a lot of emphasis on building the talent and the scope of sportsmen, and to give sports the attention and the recognition it deserves. And also a lot of emphasis at the community level on the interactive nature of sports in managing a social structure. So in providing avenues for play and learning for the youth, and in providing avenues for mentorship from the older generation to the youth, also in keeping us all fit and healthy.
When you spoke about infrastructure, you made it general.
Yes.
Is there anything specific you have in mind in terms of infrastructure for the people in that area? Let's say you are ready to put up a volleyball court, you are ready to put up an NBA court, you are ready to put up maybe let's say a football pitch or something for the people in that area to add their talent.
Yeah, that's. I mentioned that the MMDAs, that's the Municipal Metropolitan Assemblies, are being mandated to develop centers like that. So infrastructure-wise, there's going to be, in every district, a center, and mostly we're looking at an indoor center to support the lesser known sports. So you have basketball, you have handball, you have volley, you have table tennis, lawn tennis, all of these things in centers of sports excellence. But that's on a broad policy level. In the meantime, what we can do is to improve what exists already in the communities. Like, for example, in my constituency, we have the Chinese court, which is undergoing some renovation because it's a very, very important location for us in Tema to have fun. So that is already undergoing, some renovation. And it's served basketball for all of these years. We don't necessarily need to throw it away and look for a new place to play ball. There are also smaller courts around the constituency that we can support to improve the facilities and just make it more friendly for people to hang out at and play at. There's tennis, there are all kinds of sports which are being played already, What needs to be developed, for example, are sports that do not really exist within the constituencies already. Like I mentioned, beach soccer, which we're going to start to face very soon. But in terms of infrastructure, the little ones are available. Let's try and support those structures to hold the sports. In the meantime, as we work towards providing those centers of excellence in each of our districts.
But my question was being specific. What specifically are you starting with? Are you starting with a volleyball court? Are you starting with an NBA court? Or what specifically are you starting with before you can come out generally with other things to support whatever you intend to do for your people?
Well, there's nothing like a starting point, to be very honest. You deal with whatever is available. Right now, for example, we've started, or okay, if you may, with the basketball court, because that exists and we're just improving the facilities. But in the meantime, even while we do that, as we do that, because you see, improvements are a continuous process. It's not an episodic thing that, okay, you start with this and leave it, and then go to this and leave it. No. While you provide these facilities, maybe lights to improve the basketball court here, you might look at where people are playing baseball and say, okay, I'll help you with your turf. So all of these things can be done simultaneously and not necessarily one after the other. If we do that, before we realize, we'll disadvantage some, a lot more than others. But in that vein, let me just invite all of us to join us in Tema Central on Sunday as we unveil our new lights and improvements on our basketball court.
Wow. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much too.